Hello and welcome to your Friday's episode of Loose Mandem. I am back in the hot seat again, which is a nice feeling to be in. As you lot watching will have to get used to it, as me and Kamaar both take turns to host you guys, which we love. So coming up in the next 40 minutes, we will be discussing the latest government race report and music news relating to rapper DMX, all things council culture, and we will also be playing a game of Loose Mandem, does 2 lies and 1 truth. So sit back, grab something to drink or eat because that is today's Loose Mandem. But first, in recent news, Boris Johnson has commented on the much derided race disparity report and has been urged to withdraw it. The Commission on Race and Ethnic Disparities examines the inequality in the UK. However, one of the report's biggest failings is the highly partial analysis of the racial inequalities, ranging from health, education to employment and criminal justice. Its biggest denial is the acceptance of racism in Britain, even from an institutional level. All of what I just said leads me onto today's question, which is, has the race disparity report accurately reflected the discrimination of ethnic groups in Britain? Right, so Kamaar, what do you think of this so far?
Well, you know what, to your question, no, because obviously they've done the report based on their views, not in terms of, black Britons in the UK, and as well, I think the black government advisor has left, his job role because of, I think they said not because of the race report, but I think it is as well, because it's basically, they're trying to say there's no institutionally racist in Britain towards black people, which I disagree. There is, let's go back to stop and search, the health service, like Rochelle Humes has done a documentary about how black women are more likely to die than white women, and I think because sometimes how black people speak to one another in terms of in a hospital. So like someone who's non-black think we're aggressive, you're aggressive, we're not doing that for you, we're not giving you no oxygen, which I think no.
But do you think that would be a cultural thing then, rather than a race thing?
But no, because not all black people are aggressive, you get what I mean?
Hence why I asked, would you think it would be a cultural thing rather than a race thing?
Cultural? No, yeah.
Please carry on with that. Why do you think that?
In terms of, cultural in, where we, how we are as black people?
Well, it could be anything. So it could be where you come from, it could be...
so where we come from, there's a more diverse health service up here than in London.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, let's go back to when my mum had me. She's not experienced any racism in the health service up here,
right,
when she has me and my brother. I don't think none of my family who have had kids have experienced that kind of racism, or lost a, had a miscarriage or had a baby, if it was for racism up here. I just think it depends where you come from and how people actually are. Like, not all black people are the same. So yeah.
Okay, how about you, Harry? What do you think of that?
Well, I think racism and discrimination, it'll never come to an end. And what Kamaar said, I do agree with what some of these said, but some parts it's like, with how our community cooperates nowadays, it's just, I think people just stereotyping again too much. When I see other people, I see them as a human. I don't look at the colour of their skin and say, alright, they're that type of person, I don't want to speak to them. Look, I'm speaking to you right now, aren't I? You're different colour skin. I'm not trying to say that you're not human. You're just a normal human being that I'm trying to speak to. But that's what social media is doing. It's taking it down and saying, "Oh no, look, this is the black person. They don't. They're nothing like us. This is that. This is it."
Yeah, like you said, you'll look at me and think, "Oh, I'm not.
You're a human being."
Yeah, but I get you what you're saying. But some non-black people are like, I like that, like you said, they'll look at the colour of your skin.
Yeah, they just follow the stereotypes. They just believe what they see on social media. Again, they just think that all black people are just the same, even though we're all human. Just live it like that. It's just ridiculous how we're doing.
Yeah. How about you, Lewis?
Yeah, like you said, if Boris Johnson and the if no one's going to admit there's a problem with racism, then it's not going to get solved. And the way they're going about it, they're trying to say, well, there's no institutional racism anymore or anything like that. But there clearly still is, because the black community don't agree with it. They still know that there's racism. And there's a lot of white people that still see racism like, you know, it's the way that black people are treated by white people, the options they're given. You know, they just try to like overrule them. They don't. If you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get you.
I believe that they'll probably doubt there's institutional racism due to the fact that, Britain has this kind of mentality, kind of stubborn mentality of, you know, you have to be proud of where you come from. And at the end of the day, if they were to agree with this institutional racism, then that's agreeing to how then that there's going to be racism in Britain, therefore it's a convention, it's a normality, therefore it reflects the country, therefore it reflects the government, so that would make them look bad. So I doubt they would agree with that, because at the end of the day, you know, why would you want to agree with something that will poorly reflect you? You know what I mean? And there is an issue, because there's racism everywhere. I mean, whether it be high or low, I still think there's still racism, and like Harry said, and like what we've all said, there's still going to be racism. You know, it's going to be subtle, or it's going to be very, very, very plain.
Well, we hope that they will do something, or they will, you know, because I think now racism is more online rather indirect now, because you know, if you was racist to me, I would do something about that. You got what I mean? So I think it's now moved online rather, like, let's go back to the 60s. Now it was blatantly outside, like yeah. You got what I mean? Yeah.
Online has definitely created a field where people can definitely express their opinions without getting in trouble. But
yeah, and sorry, Sal, because what I want to say is to the people at home, we're not, you know, it's not, you know, some people are like, why are you talking about racism, why are you talking about, you know, black people? It's not a one-sided, you know, it's not going to be like this every show, you know, every week. No, you get what I mean?
It won't be biased. It won't be biased.
Yeah, but these conversations are uncomfortable for us to speak to, and we need to speak them, because sometimes white people think, oh, you just talk about it, but sometimes it's not easy, you know, because obviously all our ancestors have been through that situation. You got what I mean?
I mean, do you know what? Because in the, I agree. At the end of the day, we do need to have these uncomfortable conversations. Like I say, again, we don't want to come off as if it's biased. We're not biased. It's just, we just need to have these kind of conversations. However, playing into the whole fact of the whole race report, it said, I think it says, inequality is more likely to be caused by geography, poverty, and culture rather than, and I kind of agree to an extent. I don't agree to the fact that it says more than race, because race is definitely a factor of it, but I believe like all those culture, geography, poverty plays into the fact of race being, you know, being a factor of racism being a big part of it. So I don't believe that it's just, geography and, the culture being more than race. It's just the same, I think, or culture and stuff like that plays into the fact of race, because obviously, you know, every race has a different culture. Everybody has, it doesn't matter what colour, what way, what you identify as, etc., etc. So I do agree to an extent. I don't agree with the full statement. And then it created another statement, I think, from the report. It said ethnic minorities haunted by historic racism that doesn't exist in modern Britain. Now that, I don't know, what do you think of that, Lewis, though? Like, what do you think of that? They said ethnic minorities haunted by historic racism that doesn't exist in modern Britain.
Yeah, so it's like they're trying to take so they're just trying to say that there's nothing actually going on anymore. This is just you guys worrying about the past, and because it has happened, you think it's still happening, but it is still happening, and they just don't want to own up to it. They don't want to admit it, and that's why it can't move forward. And like the older generations that are in power and run parliament and run the country, the white older generation that were grown up on these racist beliefs, and they were grown up by racist parents, grandparents, and the way they will have got used to treating black people and people of different colour will have been passed down to their kids, and that's why racism's still here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you made a good point, Lewis, because
And I'm not the first to say it.
no, you won't be the last as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, you made a good point because hopefully we can, everyone, all accept everyone as a human race because we are, and not just identify. Oh, you're black, so you don't get that. You don't, you shouldn't have that privilege as well. So, yeah,
it's a bit odd. Did you know what though? Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's say that we agreed to an extent with this. And say racism isn't necessarily the biggest, thing compared to how it was, let's say, 10-ish years ago. Why not? Let's say racism wasn't, as bad as people are making it out. Let's say that. And at the end of the day, some people could be right. Some people could say, oh, it's a superiority thing, It could be, for instance, Nazi Germany for a second then. I know it's probably about 90-ish years ago, but even then, Nazi Germany, Hitler, obviously in power, and he goes and says, well, the Jews are inferior to us. Now keeping in mind, he said they're inferior to us, and also the fact that they're both white. Now, I guess you could play into the whole, it's Aryan race, therefore it's racism, but the only difference between the two is someone probably has, in playing into the stereotypes, and again I don't agree with these, but it's like probably the smiles or the shape of their nose, etc., etc. Would you still think, racism is like, considered to be just about the colour of your skin then?
No. Oh, do you want to go?
Yeah, Harry, what do you think?
You can be racist. Racism can happen anywhere to anyone. Like, look at like I said earlier, TV shows and movies and that. Look how that's been taken down. Like, I don't know, like say "Come Fly With Me" and that sort of stuff. White chicks. How come that's not being taken down when that's racist to us, but we'd actually take that as offence? That's what nowadays. It's just people that offence is taken too easily. That's what I think. It's just
people like to be petty and
look into the past and that. Look at say when you said in the 60s, and like I know you black people back then, they weren't treated the best, were they?
But you know what? In your defence, right? Let's go back, like I just said, stop and search. 60 years ago, let's go down like to Bristol riots, right? The stop and search, what they've been doing then, is happening now in the London, and which that's what I said. Like like you said, we can't look on the past, but sometimes stuff in the past is happening today, and we can't really say, oh yeah, that's in the past. That we can't really don't address that.
Playing into that again, playing devil's advocate again, right? So from another person's perspective, technically more white people are, and this is a fact apparently, that more white people are known to get more stop and search or to get arrested by police compared to black people. Right. 1. 2, that there is more crime in black communities, black areas. Therefore, police are more inclined to stop someone who is black if they seem suspicious. But do you think that maybe that instead of blaming it on racism, maybe it's a fact of the communities themselves to take responsibility for the certain things they do?
You know what? Should I go first? Well, I agree. I agree half and half. Where, like you said, sometimes it's not just about race. Sometimes it's about communities, because we know about in London you've got like gangs, you've got all the drug people, and then black kids will get drawn into that because it's like it's a new norm. Yeah, I can make money with selling this, selling that, and I get that. But sometimes, like if I was to walk down the street of London now with my bag, what's on my stuff on, I will be likely to get stopped. Just because how I look, and just because I've got a bag, just because I'm not from London, may think I've been moving drugs up north. So I think it's half.
Which again, you're right. Go Karen.
Can I agree with that? Yeah, because what I do agree with the stereotypes. Say like, look at terrorism. When people think of a terrorist, they think of like a darker skin colour, whereas if it was a white person, they think, they've just got mental health problems.
And I read that stereotype needs to be eradicated out of society, because if we don't, it'll just be going on from to next generations and next generations and next
what
generations.
About this though? Let me direct it to Lewis. Let's say, all right, you're a kid and you're from home, broken family, and you don't really have any role models, or like parental guidance or anything like that, and you don't really have a lack of opportunity, a lot of financial opportunity, a lot of parental opportunity, etc., etc. Right? Do you think that, let's say that same person was to get arrested, do you think it would be, let's say this person was Asian, do you think it would be racist?
So,
For instance, so that person, let's say that person committed a crime because of their background, do you think they'll get arrested? Let's say, and the Asian as well, do you think they'll get arrested? What do you think would be racism?
so an Asian does a crime,
Mm-hmm.
gets arrested.
Mm-hmm.
He's from a hard background.
Mhm.
He's had a tough upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it racist?
Yeah.
Well, it kind of like depends on what brought him to arrest him. If you just got caught red-handed, depending what he's doing as well.
Could have stolen from a shop, some sweets from a shop.
Just from some sweets from a shop. If it were a white kid, probably get slapped on and sent on his way. But Asian, probably pushed around, called some names, handcuffs in
Okay.
cars on the way down. It probably it could be racist. It depends what police, because not all police are racist, but there is definitely a large amount of racist police out there.
Mm.
So it's a lot of factors go into it, but it is definitely an opportunity for like a racist incident to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? And even in the hypothetical, all right. Let's say there was this woman. She's just had a baby, and this baby is probably 3-ish years old, and this woman, she's a black woman, and the social services come and look at her and says, "Oh, you don't look like you should be a parent. You don't look fit to be a parent." Based off of just her looks. Do you think that's right? Come on.
No, that's not right, because some, okay, I'm speaking from a black perspective now. Looks, for example, our hair is different from your hair. You can see that, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we wear our hair out for, to let out all the moisture out of that, and then people will, look at us and say, "Oh, you got crazy hair. Oh, you look like a crazy, a mentally ill patient with, afro hair." You got what I mean? So yeah, sometimes I think sometimes it is, because sometimes how we look and sometimes how we, we might wear, sluggish or loungewear inside anyway. So.
Okay, I agree with that. But how about if I told you this woman was a cocaine addict?
The mother.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they're taking that child away from her, based off her looks.
I would, then I would say, well, it isn't racist.
Exactly.
Well, it's not based on the looks if she's doing cocaine, is it? That's based on
not
her
necessarily,
ability to...
because if you were to look at someone who has done cocaine, it is quite clear. As for instance, James Brown. James Brown, cocaine addict, and if you've seen pictures of him, terrible. And she's a person who doesn't take care of herself, and she has a 3-year-old, and she's looking after that 3-year-old, and she's black. Now, this could be the same for any other race. It doesn't always have to be black. It doesn't always have to be white. It could be Asian, Hispanic, Latina, etc., Native American, etc., right?
Yeah.
The thing is, what I'm getting from this, again, playing devil's advocate, probably from the government's view or from a higher social standpoint, they're thinking, of course, it's not racism, that's the thing. It's different kind of factors. For instance, it would be financial things. It could be economic things, it could be cultural things, it could be all these different kind of things.
Yeah.
And me personally, I think that all plays into race, but I could see how they think, racism isn't the biggest factor anymore.
And that's why, that's the same thing. Educating those over, but it's the ignorance. It's like, if I was to say to you now, Harry, if you didn't know, like if you had a different point from me, and I think, yeah, that's really, it needs to be looked on about that, and you said it was ignorance. I feel like, what's the point of me? What's the point of me telling you, educating you more, if you're not willing to listen, and you just got that set mind in your thing in your head, saying that, oh, I know, right, you know what I mean. So
that's the thing. I believe one of the biggest things, and I think we all can agree, I think at the end of the day, we can only blame others so much for like racism, etc., etc. But I think we do have to take accountability and also build up in our own communities unity.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you know, whether it be Asian, black, etc., 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 right? We're only strongest if we're united.
Yes,
It
exactly.
doesn't make sense, you know, to blame others. You can't always play the blame game. We can't always do that. You know what I mean? We have to teach people if we can. We have to guide people if we can in the right way. But, you know, if they don't want to listen, then that's their choice. At the end of the day, everybody's got free will.
But
and again, it's not right.
But you know what? If I would say to those people who don't want to listen, don't speak or don't say
That's
nothing
right.
or comment, because sometimes people comment and think they know something, and then someone like me who's black or someone who is, you know, black will shut them down because they don't know the information about what they're speaking about. So yeah,
That's exactly it. But moving on. Now, a slightly different change of topic now. The 50-year-old American artist DMX has been hospitalized after overdosing and suffering a heart attack. He has recently made some progress, but his prognosis states little brain activity after the overdose. His family, along with supporters, have held a prayer vigil outside of the New York hospital. And of course, this is not the first case where celebrities have had near-death, if not fatal encounters with drugs. So, that prompts the question, do you think drugs and having a high level of success have anything in common? What do you think about this, Lewis?
I think they can have, you know, things in common, but I don't think that if you're successful, the opportunity to do drugs is more there. You've got more freedom, more money, more time. If you're highly successful, you can fall down the wrong path and, you know, go to drugs or get addicted. But there is plenty of people that become really successful and they've had nothing to do with drugs their whole life, and, you know, they never turn to drugs and they just stay successful. But yeah.
No, I mean, I get what you're talking about. At the end of the day, you've got, you know, famous people who, not even just famous, but very successful people who have established careers, established long-line businesses, who have managed to do it all without drugs. But do you think, though, that it would give you an edge or maybe keep you going through it all, Harry?
Well, I do. Being the different paths you go down in life for different celebrities, it's probably the wrong ones for them to go down, or having the wrong people around them whilst going down it. If you look at all these different celebrities, like look at Amy Winehouse when she had the problems with alcohol because of her husband and that. Look at like Kurt Cobain when he shot himself, when he had problems and that sort of stuff. Elton John, peer pressure with like drugs and that, like we said. But it's just a shame to see him being unhealthy, like being like a vegetable right now with brain inactivity and that sort of stuff. But he's 50 years old and it's not normal to see. I've seen that he's had problems in the past, but I think it's to do with the people he's had around him, the group that he's been in. Because I know he's been a rapper and that sort of stuff. And I'm not saying like, I'm not being a stereotype either, but like rappers' background, say like in LA and that and New York, it's not with what's going on with like Tupac and that and Biggie, and it's just I think it just shows what it's not been the best for them. I'd have best for them for the past for them to go down. But it's any problem linked with the brain for them. It's like addiction and that. It can really set them back in the career and life in general without them noticing it, without seeing the right people.
And with all the like attention they get from the media and all the you know, like the change of lifestyle that you get from, you know, just going along with your life, and then, you know, you're a big rapper and everyone knows who you are. It'll change your life, and it can knock you off the road a bit, and, you know, you can fall down into that bad path where they need coping mechanisms like drugs and addiction.
What about you, Kamaar?
I agree with what you're saying, but you know what? You know, like you said, you're a successful, you know, person. I think that, you know, sometimes I think, you know what, I'm stressed out. I'm getting all these music deals left, right, and centre. I need something to cool me down. But, you know, sometimes I can't. You know, they've done all the techniques like sleeping, you know, meditation, something won't work. And then somebody, obviously, like you said, maybe like their peer group or someone will come and say, right, oh, you know, do you want some, you know, you know, weed or coke? You know what I mean? And then, well, they'll take it. And then they'll have, like I said, a little hype. And then, you know, the mood will just go down. Like they'll be miserable or, miserable, annoyed, sluggish.
Look at Robert Downey Jr. Look at him. Look at the life he had and what it led to.
Yeah.
Probably because he went on the right path.
And then, he
changed his life up a bit.
Yeah.
Stopped doing drugs and that. Tried to speak to the right people. Change groups, peer groups and that. Which looks like DMX should have done as well.
And then they become addicted. That they say, right, you know what? I'm feeling down. I need to take some. And it'll just keep going on. And then it comes to a point where you can't stop, or you're near to die, or near to doctors can't help you anymore. You know, but you've wrecked your body.
I mean, right now, I think one of his managers said that he is on life support and he's in a coma, and he's got to have some tests. I think today, or if not that tomorrow. But the thing is, DMX obviously he had a terrible background, and then he grew up, and then he became a famous rapper, which is fine, which is awesome actually, which has helped him. But he then changed his life around though. He became a pastor, if you didn't know that. He became a pastor. So, and he did that for quite a long while until he kind of got back into the industry. I think maybe the industry had a big role in his drug addiction again. Because he was fine for a long time until, getting back into it. So it might be a case where other people have coerced into getting back into that kind of drug-filled kind of scene, and unfortunately, it's led him to this. And I hope, and my prayers are with him, because at the end of the day, it'd be such a sad, story at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So again, I do want to continue this, but cautious of time. So I'm going to move on. And okay, well, that is it for our discussion, but please stay tuned, because after the break we will be discussing cancel culture, and we'll be playing a game of Loose Mandem does 2 lies and 1 truth. Okay, we'll be back soon. Welcome back, nice to see you again. Still to come, all our panellists, including me, will be playing a game of Loose Mandem. There's 2 truths and 1 lie. Hopefully I will win, because my detective skills are wicked. But first, cancel culture has become popular among woke-activists, expanding beyond Twitter posts condemning people, whether an influencer or your average Joe, from the acts they have done or other things they have said from years ago or even recently. Cancel culture can raise awareness of the wrongdoings of others, but has also ruined the lives of many as well. Therefore, should cancel culture have a responsibility to determine someone's life, someone's career, and even their livelihood? What do you think of this? Come on.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of cancel culture. Many people, like an Emmerdale actress up here, she said something before she even got the job, before she was like, I think in her teenage years, and then someone at Emmerdale saw that message or saw that post, but she didn't delete it, and then they terminated her contract, and now she's off teller. So I think I disagree if it's like something little or it's like a little argument you had, but I agree if it's something really offensive to people, like something that most people disagree or like will feel offended on.
How do you feel about this, Harry?
Well, I agree. I think cancel culture, I think it just portrays how our economy, including America's, has just gone downhill. Like, say, Twitter posts I made like back in 2012, people are different, people aren't the same as that now.
Yeah.
Like, me in 2012, I'm not the exact same from 2012. I was probably 12 years old then, but people just still think that they're the exact same. Like what you said about, I can't remember that actor off in the Mandalorian, I can't remember what her name is.
Oh,
I think you know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she got kicked off for saying one thing, a word. Was it any physical harm or something? But people get offended too easily. It's just to see it, it really just shows. I think culture, it's a good thing to have culture in this world. It really, it's good not having non-culture. Well, if we didn't have culture, then we wouldn't have, I don't think, an interesting life. We'd just all be like robot life or something.
Yeah.
All the exact same. But having culture, but people getting offended, that it's just, and it's just social media. I think it's doing it to us all. Again.
I mean, people. I mean, because we are in a society now where things are a bit more sensitive.
Yeah.
People are a bit more sensitive. If you were to say the things that I mean, Eddie Murphy made a comedy show called Raw back in the day, probably 80s. Now, I can tell you now, if someone from the cancel culture community came and saw that footage, he will not have a career today.
See, I disagree with that.
No. Legit. If you have seen the footage of that show, the things he says, he would be totally cancelled. He would not have a career today. Because he says, again, because back then it would have been so, it was funny, it was fine. Nobody really cared that much. Everything was a joke, which is fair, alright. But nowadays, because of this new age kind of woke kind of thing, everybody's, walking on eggshells. So like I said, even in comedies nowadays, if it be film or stand-up, most of the things you say now, you probably are going to have to be walking on eggshells because people will get easily offended. I mean, what do you think of that, Lewis?
Yeah, everyone has an opinion, and everyone makes mistakes. So the fact that cancel culture are just looking into people's past, digging up the past mistakes, and then trying to take away the livelihood and the career, but it's just not fair because everyone makes mistakes and everyone learns from those mistakes. Everyone changes just natural. But culture, you can't cancel it. All culture is just beautiful, I guess. But but if someone's saying some offensive stuff, then they're doing it to themselves. You shouldn't be saying that stuff, and it's fair dues in some cases when they get cancelled. So
yeah, I mean, there's difference. There's a difference. You're totally right. I mean, Lewis, you're totally right. I mean, there's difference between telling a joke and then outright being offensive to people, like with intentional harm and stuff like that, which is fair, But if it's okay, because Kevin Hart, I'm pretty sure he made a comment probably about over 10 years ago about if his son was a homosexual, then he would disown him or kick him out. I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not verbatim, but but he has from that cancel culture got on his back and said, well, if because he wanted to host the Oscars, which is again the biggest, award ceremony for acting. Well, typically, and he got denied the chance of that dream. Now he didn't. He said he wouldn't, which is I think is a bit silly on his part though. He said he wouldn't apologize. Because he said if right, all you have to do is apologize and you can host the Oscars again, which is fair. But he didn't do that. But then probably about 6 to 8 weeks later, he apologized and he missed the opportunity to host the Oscars, which is a bit silly.
Yeah.
He should just apologize in the first place.
Yeah.
But like I say, it is still wrong though to actually bring it. Because is anybody here the same person they were 10 years ago?
No.
Definitely
No.
not. No.
No.
Nope.
No.
We're not robots.
I mean, I know you're the same height as 10 years ago. Which is fair. No, I'm joking.
Really?
It's fine. It's fine. No, but nobody here, like I said, nobody here, nobody in general, is the same person as they were 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everybody changes. Everybody has different things. Everybody's got different struggles. Everybody's got different lives. It's just fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have you can't have the responsibility to determine someone else's livelihood because you have a different opinion to them. Or it's like even with I think a few weeks back, the LGBTQ plus community were back in the statement saying that because transgenders, they said if a straight heterosexual male, biological male, doesn't have a relationship or sleep with a transgender female, then they are transphobic. I mean, would you agree with that?
Look, I would have, but I've got another point. Like, just have you seen the new football rule as well? You need to have like a black and Asian and another type of person working in it.
That's odd.
It's a bit weird because it's trying to promote it. That's what the FA trying to do. Premier League.
Because quite a lot, even big studios, even like football, sports, etc. They want to have this inclusivity, this diversity thing.
Yeah.
But ultimately,
it's excluding.
Yeah.
An average, a normal white person. Well, not normal, but every.
It's not exactly fair, is it? Like, they're not looking for the best person for the job.
No,
they're just
that's
thinking
what it's
about
about,
how they look. They think, if we've got a black person or an Asian person on our team, then they think that that makes them trustworthy or something. But if anything, it just makes them worse.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, because you know what, I like it what Lewis is meant, because when the police want to, police and fire recruitments want to say, we want more black people, we want more Asian people. Yeah, but are you catering for them though? Or are you just saying that because you want to be that inclusive or that direct, or don't be seen as a racist or institutional racist business or society or organisation?
I mean, cancel culture would then immediately get on your back saying, well, if you don't believe that, then you're a racist, homophobic, transphobic, cretin. That's etc. Which is not fair. Because at the end of the day, it's not that. We want to get the job done. We want to have a role where you can help other people. Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, yes, if they're black and they can do it, that's fine. If they're black and they can't do it, then they can't do it.
Exactly.
I mean, like, final statements from each one of you, though.
What do you want? You go first.
It's all about, it's the person you are, it's the traits you that you possess. That's as simple as it is. It's not what your colour of skin is, what you can do, what they think you can do, stereotyping it. Just, if you're the right person for the job or the right person for whatever, then you're the right person for it. It shouldn't be what you look like. Yeah. It's simple.
Yeah. Lewis?
I agree.
I think people, everyone should have an opinion, but that's not being offensive, or if he wasn't, or if you feel like he was back then, obviously apologise or delete what you've wrote back then, I've done. Yeah. Well, I haven't wrote something, but I've said something, but now I think, no man. But yeah,
so after all that, we are going to get cancelled because we have different opinions. So now, after that whole debate, I think we need something to lift all our spirits. After all, it is Friday, and this next thing should be fun. It is time to play Loose Mandem, just 2 lies and 1 truth. Alright, so, typically in this game, each of our panellists will take turns to tell the others who are not playing, and you lot at home too, lies and one truth. And we obviously must guess which the right one is. Panelists who are not playing will have the opportunity to ask the player questions on each statement they tell them about, and from there they will make their own decision and not a group decision. So the panelist that gets the statement right will take the player's place. If more than one panelist gets the statement correct, they'll have to play rock, paper, scissors to make that decider, right? So let's get to it. So who wants to go first?
I don't mind, yeah, pick
Or
me.
you go first.
I can't go first. I can't try
I'll
to
go
figure
first.
it
Eeny, meeny, miny. Okay, so you're going first.
I'll go first.
No, I'm joking. I'll go first.
All right,
I'll go
go
first.
right.
Why not? Because I'm the host today, and I'll go first today. Okay, so... Okay. Alright, so... I have stolen something from a shop. I am 6 foot, and I am... Oh right, yeah. I've broken someone's nose.
Oh,
You've
I
stolen
think I
from a
know.
shop.
I've stolen from a shop.
You
I've broken someone's nose, and I'm 6 foot.
right.
I know which one's.
You know which one it is?
Yeah.
Kamaar?
No, but obviously them lots it.
Oh, okay.
Right, go on.
Well, you're a bit taller than 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
So
6'1", 6'2".
6'1" or 6'2", probably that. So that's a lie. And then broken someone's nose
I think
or
that's...
stealing from a shop. I mean, I'm gonna say you broke someone's nose. That's the truth, and stealing from a shop. That's a lie.
Okay, what do you think, Harry?
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you go for the broken nose?
Yeah, broken nose.
Yeah, the broken nose.
My nose. Broken nose, yeah?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're positive?
If I'm going back in my memory, yeah.
Were you there?
You told me.
I told you.
I think.
Well, I can tell you all now, that was not right.
Oh my.
I lied, it was right. Okay, so now all of you three have to play.
All right.
You,
All right. Me and Harry first.
what we take it? What we doing?
Yeah, we take it in turns, and then the winner does it with the next person.
All right.
All right. Go on.
No, we'll
Right. Right. What are we going it? On go.
Yeah. Go on. Rock, paper, scissors. Do it now.
You can do all three until
Right.
someone-
I know.
No. We do it first, and then the winner
Yeah.
does it with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Ready?
Right. Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, right. You go.
Right. Me and you. Rock, paper, scissors. All right.
Okay, so you're next.
Okay. Two lies and one truth. Okay. I've been to America.
Okay.
Oh God. Let's try to think of another life here.
Can you be more specific with America? Do you mean US?
Yeah, I will after. I will after. I've slept in the caravan on a holiday, and all right.
We now see a Kamaar.
All right. 1 minute. I've been to Jamaica 6 times.
Could I go first?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
for
go
it.
on.
Right. You've been to Jamaica 6 times. That's the truth. You've already
Okay.
told us.
Why did you just give the answer now?
No, I'm just saying my opinion. I
No,
don't
but you just said it. You've already said that. So
And now,
obviously-
I never
in
said
my
that.
opinion as
I never
well.
said
said that before.
What? I'm just.
Obviously, all right. I'm out. Right, it's got it. So it's Harry's go.
I mean,
It's the
you
said- you said that before.
You could have denied that and played it off and saying that
No,
it's a lie.
no, no.
You could have though. You
No.
could have.
Sold
You could
it
have.
straight
You
away.
could have.
Well,
You really could have.
it's Harry's
But,
go.
Yeah, we'll go with Harry. This
So,
time.
I've shot a minigun. I shot a minigun in what is it, Vegas. I had I've met an ex-footballer. I've seen a footballer in Alton Towers, and then
Hard trigger to get the footage of your cards.
Just looks like we're just filming some.
Are you filming something?
Yeah, sorry.
And
Apologies.
and I'm terrible at tennis.
What was it? What was the second one again, sorry?
Well,
What was the second one again?
I've seen a footballer. It's in Alton Towers.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that the last one was the truth. What?
I'm terrible at tennis.
You're terrible at tennis. That's the truth. The other two are lies.
No, wait, no, I mixed it. Oh, I forgot.
What was the first one?
No, keep it. No, that's all right. Yeah.
Okay.
No, in fact, no. Table tennis. Can I say? I'm crap at table tennis. It's like the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So
So
table
am
tennis.
I. You're not right. Yeah, so am
I think the truth's the first one. Yeah, some.
Wait, shot.
Shot a minigun
Shot
in
a
Las
minigun.
Vegas. I don't believe
You
that.
can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the
So
truth.
that, so that's the truth.
What's
So what's? So you said that, yeah. I'm terrible at table tennis.
I would say the second one is the truth.
What's in the next football?
Yeah.
Oh, so we both have.
I
We all
don't
have a
believe
mix
that,
of
considering he
favourite.
didn't even know the name of the footballer.
Oh,
And
did you
he
ask
was-
him that?
he's-
Did you ask him that?
Well, did
He didn't say
Don't
name.
ask me the name.
what's
Gary
the name?
Speed.
Gary Speed, but you've had time to think about it now.
Let me
When,
just-
when
let me
you were
just
first
talk
going on
Gary
about it,
Speed
you were
one
trying to say a
second,
name, you
I
couldn't
know
even
about
think of the
football
name.
there too much.
I will say he has passed away now. He committed suicide.
Okay, so I'm not gonna say the second one then. I'm gonna say.
I've been to Vegas.
He could be sweaty.
You
at
could-
times.
you can shoot- you can shoot miniguns
I
in.
know, but you.
Where I went, you
you've
couldn't
gone
shoot
to
miniguns.
Vegas, but it doesn't mean that you shot a
Someone
minigun.
shot it right next to me, and I was scared my life. But then I went on it. I was like,
Yeah.
So wait, someone
Jesus.
shot it
That's
or
the
you
truth.
shot it?
I don't believe that they've let you on a minigun. Though. How old
no,
was
I'm
you?
not joking. I was
How
18 years old. It
can
was
I
3
ask-
years
can I
ago.
ask- 3 years
Oh
ago,
right, I
3
believe
years
you.
ago?
That's the truth then,
I think
probably.
that's the truth.
Because you could be a sweaty bastard at
He's not wrong. But all right. I'll say the last one is the truth. I'm gonna say the last one is the truth.
Shall I say then?
Go for it.
Right then first and third are lies. I met Gary Speed.
Ah, damn it! I just done it.
Oh, you were back. I thought you
There
were
was
going
a
to pick that as
in
well.
Vegas. There was a minigun. I was shooting an assault rifle at first. I was like, Jesus Christ, what is that noise? I was crap myself. Like, oh, I don't want to shoot this anymore. I was scared to my life. I didn't touch it though. And the third one,
okay,
I might,
was
well,
He's gone now.
So yeah, so it's.
and I'm good at table tennis as well. So.
Should
Lewis
I
is
say the
gone.
first one? All right. So okay, we've done all goes. Next time for Lewis.
My God, right, so 2 lies, 1 truth, right?
Yep.
I go to building college. And
Hey, keep it going, man.
right, I have a skateboard, which I do tricks on.
This is going very easy.
And last night, I was looking out at the stars, right, and I seen a UFO.
Okay.
Too many clouds.
Should I go first? I think obviously the skateboard is the truth, and the rest of the lines.
I agree with Kamaar.
You're wrong.
Can I have mine, please?
Yeah.
That's the host. Can I not have mine? Okay. So I believe that, right, by analyzing it through the matrix of life, through
course.
Stephen Hawking's theory of relativity, right, and chicken.
Oh,
That
God.
maybe, perhaps, possibly, that
Potentially.
the second one with the skateboard is in fact true.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say anything until after.
I've already said it true.
Have you?
The second
All right.
one, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're all right. And I did walk in here with a skateboard.
So who won that?
Right.
I think Harry won
You
that.
didn't get mine.
Harry
No,
won
Harry
that.
won as in he's to guess all of us, aren't you? Did you
Yeah,
guess yours?
because you dropped out.
I said broken nose.
We got yours. You got mine, and you won. So
Well done, Harry.
But yeah. Well, we have run out of time for today's show, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned something as well. I want to thank Lewis, Harry, and Kamaar for joining me and sharing these views bravely. Also, do not forget to share, like, and comment on any of our posts, and we'd love for you to follow and subscribe to our website, www.loosemandem.co.uk. And remember to tell all Mandem and Galdem about Loose Mandem. See you later.